Welcome back to a new Food Reviews with Fatty. As always, I'm your host, Fatty, aka Jay. If you know, you know. If you don't know, now you know, you know. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. If you're not new to the channel, welcome to the channel. So we're going to be doing a... this is part of the Taco Bell Decades menu. This is going to be the 90s. Because I did skip the 80s. I did the 60s and 70s video this week. And now this is the 90s video. During the 90s, they did come up with a new item back then that was called the Gordita Supreme. So I decided, since they're doing the Decades menu, I'm going to have a full week of Taco Bell. Normally I wouldn't dedicate 3 videos in 1 week just to Taco Bell. But I did. I decided to do this just because it felt right. It felt good. So what this is, basically, to put it quite simply, is we've got here is a Gordita Supreme. It's a flatbread, and it's got beef, cheese, lettuce, tomato, and sour cream. This was the newest item in the 90s that they had come up with. I want to say it was the late 90s, most likely, because they didn't have the, they weren't using the flatbreads. Early 90s, mid 90s that I remember anyway. I was there, so I don't really remember all that, but hey, whatever. Yeah, and I'm wearing the same hat as I was wearing in the last video. I understand. You know, I don't think that I have to dress up differently for every video in order to do things, especially when I did shoot all 3 of these videos in one day. I just wanted to knock out all 3 videos for these items in specific. So, the Gordita Supreme, it runs a little less than $3, just like the rest of the items that are on the Taco Bell Decades menu, minus the one that I chose not to do. Once again, I'm going to say it. It was the 80s menu item. It's the Mexi Melt. The Mexi Melt was complete garbage. It basically was just meat, cheese, and pico de gallo on a soft shell taco shell. So I'm just not doing that. It just doesn't make sense. I'm for sure going to be giving it a negative review. And I don't want to give everything a negative review. I don't want to give you guys those negative vibes every single time I do a video. There are some things that I just don't like. And if I don't like it, I'm just going to tell you. But I did want to find some things that I do like, or that I will enjoy. And this one seems to be one that might be really good. I remember this because it's really similar to like a lot of the chalupa stuff. Basically, these are the same flatbreads as they use for the chalupas. So, I mean, it's really basically the Gordita Supreme, or whatever you want to call this, the chalupa, whatever. Either way, this here is basically the beginning of the chalupa. This was before they realized that they could fry the chalupas, the flatbreads, and make them into what they call a chalupa. So, yeah, like I said, it's just the beef, cheese, basically lettuce, tomato, and sour cream. You can see it there. Get a nice little look. And that's what it basically is. It's got a 3-cheese blend, I believe. This is what they put on this one. Or at least, if not, I see at least 2 cheeses. So, without further ado, we're not going to spend too much time on this. We're just going to get into it. Now, I do remember this being a thing, and I do think it was for the 90s. Definitely the inspiration. I know it was definitely an inspiration for the chalupa, mainly because I actually worked for the company back in 2008. And, of course, this wasn't on the menu then, because this had already surpassed the time frame that they had everything else. But I do know this much. This is definitely one of those things that probably was one of the biggest innovations of the 90s. They weren't really coming out with a whole lot of things throughout the 90s, especially the late 90s. And this is something that I'm sure they probably had at other restaurants, but for Taco Bell, this would have been considered an innovative item. I mean, as you can see, like I said, it's not a horrible thing. It's just meat, cheese, lettuce, tomato, and sour cream. Now, again, this was cheaper than ordering the Mexi Melt from the 80s, which, again, I'm going to harp on that forever because in the 80s even, I imagine the Mexi Melt probably wasn't that big of a hit. It might have been, but I mean, their soft tacos have always been the best. Their burritos have always been the best. Some of their newer innovations nowadays are really great. I don't have a whole lot of bad words to say about Taco Bell. I know a lot of their stuff lately has not been very creative in the last probably 10 or 15 years, minus a couple things. But this definitely had to have been the innovation for the chalupa, like I said. Because this is basically the chalupa minus the flatbread being cooked. They do have like a little shaped, it's like this, kind of like a V, but it's like a bunch of V's. A pan that's like this wide, and it's got the V shaped like this, and you place the chalupas in them. The flatbreads like these. You place them in them, and then you take and you drop them down in the oil. You let them cook for a good minute, minute and a half, and you pull them back up. Bam, boom. Something like that. It's like about a minute, 45 seconds, a minute. And it just makes them hard shell kind of feeling. And that's how you get the chalupas. Now this, I will have to say, this is actually a pretty good one. This was one of the ones that I could remember in the 90s that I would have gotten. Just because you get the sour cream extra without having to pay extra for the sour cream. Which the sour cream is always kind of what makes Taco Bell's items a little more special. It's like you're getting a taco, but just in a flatbread. And I have to say, for the price for this, it's really not bad, so I'm going to go ahead and knock it out. For the value, 2 thumbs up. For the visual, it looks like the picture. And the way that it looked like when this came out, 2 thumbs up. And overall, about 2 thumbs up. It's really tasty. This was definitely something that was really good in the 90s. Like I said, I remember these when I was younger. This was definitely one of the items that I would order. Of course, it was a specialty item, so they priced it a little more expensive. Let me drop this in the Taco Bell graveyard, and I'll continue to talk about it right now while we're here. So yeah, this was actually a really good item. Very simple to make. Very simple amalgamation from Taco Bell. It's not the worst thing that I've ever eaten. In fact, out of the 3 items of this week, if I were to place these in order, I would literally go backwards. Because I feel like this was the best from the 90s. Then the green burrito from the 70s would have been the one that I enjoyed pretty well. I think that green sauce is actually really innovative, especially something from the 70s that's making its comeback, its resurgence right now. And then I would say the TOSTADA from the 60s, only because it was a very plain Jane kind of whatever item. And the reason why I say that is, like I said, it was the 60s. They were just now trying to figure out all the things they wanted to do. There wasn't a lot that Taco Bell had going on besides probably like tacos, burritos, and the one that I wish they would bring back, and this is a PSA for you, Taco Bell. You guys need to bring back the taco burger, because that was something I remember from, I want to say the 80s, when I was very, very young. You guys had a taco burger, and it was basically just a taco on a burger, but you guys did give it like some like different kinds of sauces on there. That was actually really good. I don't know why that they chose the Mexi Melt from the 80s, because the Mexi Melt, I even if I was my age now in the 80s, I would not have bought the Mexi Melt because I'm a texture person and I don't like tomato. I like tomatoes, but I don't like onions. I don't like the crunchiness. I don't like the smell. It smells like armpits. I'm good at. I don't like sweaty armpit smelling things. It's just disgusting. I know they say they're good for you, but to me they're not good for me. They make me gag. So yeah, I mean, definitely 90s was the best one. Of course, the 2000s one is still up for debate. That is coming out on the 21st of November. Currently, this is Friday. So we're nowhere near that. This is like, let's see, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. The 8th. Friday, the 8th of November. And yeah, I mean, we've still got some days to go before the 2000s item comes out. On the 21st, I'm going to go ahead and swipe one of those. And I'm going to go ahead and do the review of that. That one's one that is sure not to disappoint, I don't think. Because it was one of the best items they had. I don't know why Taco Bell took it away. But it was actually one of the best items they had from the 2000s. Especially for a dessert item. I don't know why they change out and just switch up like that. But yeah, it was actually really good. And so that's something to look forward to. So keep in lookout for that. And everybody who's been watching, thank you very much. I appreciate every view. I appreciate every like. I appreciate every comment. I'm going to make sure comment sections are open from now on. I do have to check a second box now because of YouTube. And Google, they're trying to shut down the algorithm so that way only the people that pay them get views. And so I do ask that you guys help me out with this one by liking, subscribing, and ringing the bell. Also leaving comments wherever the comments section is now, because YouTube is continually making changes that make common YouTubers like me, who are trying to give you honest information, they're trying to bury us, basically. So that way they can move forward with the people who pay them, because corporate greed does exist. So that's something to think about. Also, the companies are out there that are trying to thrive right now, that are food companies or any other kind of companies. Please do contact me. I'm more than willing to negotiate a decent price for not only advertising, but also honest reviews on my channel. You can send me the products. I'll do honest reviews on the channel. I'll do advertising on the channel. And I can also do support through other social media. I do have other social media accounts that I can use in order to advertise for you. I do have all of the major ones you can think of. And I'm actually about to start 2 more. I'm about to start a Kick and a Twitch. I have both of them. To put it simply, I have both of these, but I'm about to upload all my videos to those, so that way I can use those as well. I'm also looking into a possible like members only kind of thing as well. I don't know where that's going yet. That's just spitballing, so don't put it out there too far. But either way, if you want to sponsor the channel, please do reach out to me. I'll do food reviews or anything else reviews on my other channel, Everything Reviews with Fatty. You can reach out to me at foodreviewswithfatty@gmail.com. That's foodreviewswithphatty@gmail.com. And I'd be more than happy to do not only advertising, but also honest reviews of your products along with the advertising right here on the channel. I have no problem doing it, and I'd be more than happy to do that. I do have a lot of experience in telemarketing, proofreading, things of that nature. So needless to say, I know how to read a script. I used to sell psychic minutes, for crying out loud. I'm sure I can handle reading your script. So please do contact me, foodreviewswithfatty@gmail.com. That's foodreviewswithphatty@gmail.com. And of course, let's move forward. We're going to go ahead and talk to Mr. Predicto. Mr. Predicto, does the Gordita Supreme from Taco Bell suck?
Now is not the right time to tell you.
Okay, Mr. Predicto, does the Gordita... We're going to go backwards. Is the Gordita Supreme good?
I would not count on it.
Mr. Predicto, don't mind him. He's been a grumpy Unpredicto lately. Mr. Unpredicto is what I like to call him. Because he seems to be doing this little, "Not's the time right now." Or he'll just say no. But I think the Gordita Supreme was really good. I think for the 90s, it was definitely an innovative item. And it definitely inspired a lot of different other things that they have at Taco Bell. Like I said, I think that was kind of a spin-off that brought up a few different items. Not just the chalupa, but also the double stack taco. And also there's another one, I can't think of the name right now, the nacho Crunch Taco or whatever. It's a new one that they just kind of came out with that has a spicy ranch sauce. Either which way, I've done a review on the video. You can look back in my channel and you can find that, I'm sure, somewhere there. But yeah, it was actually a really good item and clearly inspired a lot of things Taco Bell was doing. So in which case, I appreciate everybody coming and watching the video. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and ring the bell. If you haven't already, please do like, subscribe, ring the bell. And also, please do put in any comments in the comment section, wherever it's at. All right? Well, in which case, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day, because it is a day. And as always, Food Reviews with Fatty, out.